I've been thinking about doing the Hunter's Machete HP pot pink ward start. Because he
Um,
doesn't really need a refillable, right?
have you still been going that armor pen page? I'm pretty sure, by the way, that Tarzan only does that because he has limited rune pages on that
Uh,
account. So I don't think you should
yeah.
take it from that. Yeah.
I'll
Um.
try the flat AD.
Well, no, you should do attack speed reds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
Then I
yeah.
have like 29% attack speed or something.
Oh no, because then your quints should be different. Your quints, you could have like 1 to 2 movement speed quints. You could have an armor quint with like flat or scaling HP. Armor quint with like scaling HP yellows is really nice. And then you could do like 2 movement speed ones, honestly.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then you could do
Alright.
maybe like 10% scaling CDR, some scaling magic resist in your blues.
Yeah, that sounds pretty busted.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Um, and is Hunter's Machete actually what people usually go on him, or is it the Talisman?
Um,
Because he
well,
needs.
it says talisman recommended, and I've seen people do the talisman, but like I'm pretty sure Hunter's Machete is just straight up better.
I think it'd be Hunter's Machete if you're starting on blue side, which you usually are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, and then it would be um, Talisman if you're starting
talisman
red
for red
side.
buff.
Yeah, for red side for the mana. So why did you start here?
I started here because I know that Olafs always have to do blue, and generally, like Olafs, if they start blue, they want to immediately like gank top side after clearing their jungle. So I want to keep Swain safe because that matchup's like better for our team if it goes towards late game, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's good thinking. I'm glad you're thinking about it. But what I would recommend is you could even start golems just because it'll help you have a healthier clear in general. I mean, you're still gonna have a pretty healthy clear. You're Nunu, but
Yeah.
with the buff and then if you get a healthy clear, you can even stay on the map a little longer or potentially even gank if you find a good spot to do so.
Yeah.
Because Nunu is actually an underrated mid ganker. Because if you walk in and like snowball someone, let's say if this guy doesn't have Ghost and you just snowball him, since he's an
Yeah.
immobile mage, he either has to flash or he dies. You know what I mean? With
Yeah.
the flash. So, all right. So you cleared his whole top side, but you have to assume that your bot side is gonna be gone then.
Yeah, I knew my bot side was gone as soon as he showed bot.
Yeah. So are you counting CS? Do you know how?
What do you mean, kind of like comparing RCS
Like
or?
count if you count his, you know what camps he did, right? Right now, when you last saw him, he had 10. So he
Yeah,
started Gromp, that's one, and then he probably did his blue, that's three, so that's
and
four,
then invaded straight after.
and then he invaded straight after.
Yeah.
So actually, I think he took a CS down here probably, because he
Uh.
probably went red into golems or something like that, and then took one CS on the like down here, but I'm not exactly sure. Um, he took a pretty weird path. But yeah, you can if they haven't taken any lane farm, if you look at the enemy jungler, you know what camps are up and which ones they've taken based on how much CS they have. Make sense?
So does that like give me opportunity to look for like counter jungling?
Yeah, exactly. It gives you opportunity to look for counter jungles and ganks that you know won't be countered because he's not on that side of the map. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, the best junglers, especially like if you see those really high elo ones, most of them have this down like to a science. They can easily tell what the enemy jungler did and started at.
I thought my mid
What?
laner was winning right here, so.
No, you shouldn't be fighting him anyway. I don't think,
Oh,
honestly.
really?
If he's because the lane is here. Like if you look at mid, if
Yeah.
their mid laner is leaning to this side, yours was back here and kind of getting zoned off the wave from the beginning. It's
Yeah, I thought it
iffy.
was going the other way around. I didn't check.
Yeah, that's why I like to see like your point of view instead of just replay GG because then I see where your camera was. You know what I mean? When you
Yeah.
made your decisions. I think instead of finishing this, you should go boots plus talisman if you don't have movement speed quints,
Okay.
because it's really important for you to get around the map. And like the minute you get to a camp, you just consume it and pretty much, insta clear it once you get there anyway. You don't really need the red smite either for dueling Olaf right now. Because if he got the kill up on you and he's going to get the pacing lead, then you don't really want to fight him anyway.
Okay. Then I want to just focus his camps down instead.
Yeah, exactly. Man, this sucks. The Fog of War isn't... Like, because the game starts in the beginning with the enemy Fog of War as well, it shows when his camps are taken, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when I don't know if you actually have this information. For the most part, you don't, because this is all Fog of War for you.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, right now, you can probably assume he's in top side, because his blue... well, based on his rotations, right? Like, if he... When you took all this... This is going to be coming up soon, or did already, and he took it, obviously, from what you see on the map now. And then this just came up, so he took it in here, see? So he's in top side, and now his blue is coming up in a minute, so then he rotates down to bot side towards where his camps are. And your mid has priority here, so you have to be really careful. Like, when you just saw him here, instead float for just a second right here, make sure that he actually did commit to leaving, and then you can take the scuttle, so that Cassio can keep playing on the left. Because what happens is, if you don't know for a fact he left here, and let's say he sees this opportunity and he has the Wraith buff or something like that. I don't think he did, because you took it away, right? You spited it. But either way, if he has, like, pink, anything like that, or the knowledge that you didn't have a ward if he hovered you, he just walks through here and it's, yep, there it is. It's a free gank, see? Holy shit. You guessed it. You got a smart coach, dude. First the top lane. Not top lane. First him being in top side, and then that cheesy gank. So yeah, you really got to watch out for that. This is what Bangy is really big for, is getting that vision priority for his mid laner. And in this scenario, since you have your bot side cleared, your buff isn't really coming up yet, and you know that he has no camps up. So he cleared this, and he's probably going to be going down towards bot side for the blue, right? So, but he has no camps right now.
Yeah.
So his best option, like, he has time to cheese without falling behind if it doesn't work, you know what I mean? So he could just go for this gank really easy. And you should be hovering here, making sure you get vision for her. Because that's why she was leaning to that side. She trusted you to hold vision over this area.
Yeah. Does that mean, like... I mean, that means I have to hover instead of buying Tracker's Knife, because I won't have the ward
in that
coverage.
Scenario, yeah, that's fine. You can hover just a little bit, because you're going to just go back and you're not really going to lose outpacing anyway. You'll end up getting... like your red buff still on time. It's not a big deficit for you to get that little bit of knowledge for your mid laner. And Gilette's a really good mechanical and laning mid laner, so if you get him that priority and like he knows where the enemy jungler is and can just 1v1 the enemy mid laner, it'd be good. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Alright, cool.
Like I feel like this game I put too much priority on top lane, do you think? Like
did you put too much priority on top?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? On getting vision there, etc.?
Because I've always been like routing topside just in case, like, any opportunity to...
Well, the thing is, what are you going to do in bot? If it's Morgana Ezreal, you know what I mean?
I thought it was a dead lane, so I didn't want to
Kind of. Because the thing is, Bard with his auto, Q or whatever, can just instantly proc Thunderlords and the magic damage to stop her spell shield if he does it in a smart way. So you just have to keep asking, Holy shit, dude.
I know, I'm getting flamed.
Did you call him low elo brain in your team chat?
No.
Are you sure?
Oh, I just said low elo, dude. I didn't say low elo. Like, I don't know. I literally just said low elo, 2 words.
Nah, dude. That was your fault 100%. You can't be blaming him.
Alright.
Because he's relying on you to play right, you know what I mean? And you didn't.
Yeah.
Obviously, he didn't react and realize that you weren't there, but the thing is, like, yeah, he's just assuming that you're going to do the mid-centric thing. You should take this for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, last night, Game 5, SKT had 3 Air Dragons in a row.
Yeah, I think Air Dragon's actually really strong. It
right
makes,
now,
like,
it's actually... Yeah, the flat movement speed is... it adds up. Like, it feels really nice. But, yeah, Rox actually had triple Infernal in the first game, and they lost because they had such a gold deficit. Anyway, here you should I don't know about this. Like, if you don't have a ward, you can't do this
That's
at all.
greedy, right?
It's super greedy. Yeah, if he shows up here, you're just dead. You know what I mean? He has
Okay.
tier 2 boots, you don't have them. All he has to do is axe you one time or even just ult towards you, hit you so that the passive move speed stops because you're in combat, and then he
Huh?
chases you down and kills you. So it can't be that greedy.
At this point, like, I don't know. I don't feel like I can do much.
Well, yeah, because you threw the game to them, you know what I mean? Like, me
Yeah,
dying to the
at that
Olaf and then what happened in
top
mid
lane
is
side.
just game changing. But the good thing is, because you're a Nunu, you didn't, lose out on that much pacing. You got
Yeah.
to be really careful around this when support is missing. If it gets elongated, like as the fight gets longer and longer, you really want to be looking at other lanes that could come to assist. That's just a good general rule, even if it's
Okay.
just a small skirmish.
I was assuming that bot lane back because I was looking at their HP bars after the gank. They were like all really low.
Yeah, but he's gonna rotate if he can.
That's too much of a risk. But really though, early game, do you think it's just okay for me to like? I'm always in the mindset to try and like pull off something aggressive by like fighting somebody, but early game, you think that I can just like, because I know bot lane's kind of a dead lane, and then top lane's still in favor of Swain as the game goes on, so I can just like
Honestly, in
find
this game, with what you're trying to do, you're better off getting
Tracker's knife,
Tracker's
right?
knife. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I was
then
thinking
the
like
thing is,
there's no
you're
real
a
reason
lot
for me to fight.
of. What's up?
I was thinking there's no real reason for me to fight. Like I think it's just like really bad because I was in
Yeah,
that mindset.
in this game, if you get Tracker's Knife with how hard your lanes scale, you just
Yeah.
set up the vision for them instead of having to be a body for vision. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then,
I don't
yeah, you
actually
can
have
you
to
can
do
just
anything.
maintain your pacing.
Right.
So, but the thing is, once Olaf hits his 6, usually you'll have to get your vision just a little bit deeper. This is a waste of time. And
I think we could have dove if he kept going. Oh wait, he had no
no, he
mana.
had no
Never mind.
mana. It's a big waste of time because his mana runs out really fast when he's holding ult like that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, And then, yeah, Olaf can just do this mid if you show top. That's one thing you really have to start considering, especially as a competitive jungler instead of just a solo queue jungler. Every action you make has a huge consequence. Like, whether it be good or bad, right? Either
Yeah.
you pull off the gank, it works out perfect, and then you tell the rest of the team, hey, you're going to get, like, potentially ganked because they know where I am and I can't counter gank now. Um, but if you actually do this and then you don't get anything out of it, Olaf gets to go mid and potentially get something out of it for himself. Yeah, this is... You're trying way too hard to create ganks that aren't really there, and Nunu isn't meant to be, ganking these lanes.
Yeah. I have pretty
Really,
bad
other than
patience.
Ryze, and potentially bot lane if Bard is good enough to assist you with the gank.
I should be thinking about the big picture instead of like, cause if we actually got the kill top, that's still not worth it, right? Olaf just zoned Cassiopeia off the turret. They take like farm end turret.
Yeah, it's not it's not worth it at all. That's why I was saying it's a bad gank for you to make from the very beginning. Um,
So I should
'Cause
always just let the scaling top lane like
you should
just
just help him with vision, and then if let's say um Shen is shoved up all the way, or it's a carry top laner that you know you'll be able to kill because they're squishy,
yeah.
um, or it's Shen or a tank that you're still going to be able to potentially do something in a gank just because you can chase them down the lane with a high damage laner. Then okay, but like he has Spectre's Cowl, when you gank him there, some HP,
Yeah.
and can just taunt away. So yeah, it's really
That
not
that's
worth it
really
there.
like specific though, because if I go for that gank, I have to know that the jungler won't be able to come in and do what he did. I wasn't thinking about it that game, but like
Yeah,
I
exactly.
realize
But the
now
reason
that
that
I
that
should just
happens is,
never I
mhm.
should never even go top, even if there's that gank opportunity you said, like, cause we lose out too much on the rest of the map
Well,
and
yeah,
gain
that's
like
why I was saying that stems. The reason that I didn't bring that up was because it stems from the same thing we talked about earlier about whether or not you have Tracker's Knife. You know what I mean? Because if
Yeah.
you have Tracker's Knife, you potentially see the Olaf through one of the gaps that you ordered beforehand and can maybe make that gank.
I just let a winning lane be a winning lane and then stay like mid, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you hover mid-centric, make sure that she can, because she starts winning this really hard at 6. You know what I mean? Like this matchup gets won super hard by her at 6. Oh my god, dude.
I meant to snowball the little one.
That's some tilt. But yeah, so if we have a good matchup mid like this, especially at a very specific power spike level, you don't want to try to force too much stuff early. And Cassiopeia's scaling is unreal, so just
Yeah.
make sure that she can't get shoved in on like they did with that Olaf. He was really smart to go mid right after he saw you top, but I mean it's pretty basic. Huh.
This is kind of like Clown Fiesta right now, but I knew we could get the kill 100%.
Yeah. Um. This was good. That's the thing. Like this was fine. It's just the execution was pretty raw. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Like
should have waited for
once
the
Swain
minion wave.
drops aggro, once you know Swain's about to drop aggro, what you should do is leave through here and just sit. What you could do is actually exit as soon as you saw him exiting, you exit to this side, you sit here till your red buff ends to drop aggro, and then you go back in and you redirect the aggro. Because right
Right.
now it's stacking. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
because when it starts stacking towards one
That's why I
champion,
think
it
it's
still
much
stacks for the other. So the tower is doing a shit ton of damage by that point. But yeah, the idea was good. Execution micro obviously could have been a little better, but you see where that goes. And you guys
That's
got
fine
first
for
tower,
bot
so
lane, is it?
huh?
That's fine for bot lane, is it?
That's totally fine. Yeah, because you guys got the first tower. Um, and either way, Ezreal's gonna win this mid game. So ooh.
I think the meta right now is not to go for like early snowball games, right?
No,
I should
actually,
be think,
yesterday, if you saw, the two wins that Rocks had were early snowball games, and they hard countered the bot lane and just made leads off of it.
so
So
like really aggressive keep fighting kind
because
of stuff.
people, yeah, and that's why ANX won so many games. Because the idea of play safe and scale with the current champion meta and how good certain people are at their champions and knowing how to create leads, like safe leads, you can still be really aggressive. It's just you have to be not stupid. Like walking into Olaf's jungle level 4 when you don't have priority. What we talked
Right.
about in terms of warding. Like itemization even changes a lot here. Because if you go trackers instead of the skirmishers, then you don't even have to take the bad fights that you did take. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was pretty sure this dragon was safe because I like teams don't usually repeat bot immediately after like they complete a gank. They
No, it
come
was
like
safe. The map was open for you. It's just
yeah,
you don't have enough warding still, like
yeah. I just kind of
as
assumed,
optimal as
I
you'd
guess.
want it to be. Yeah. Oof. That is one unlucky Ezreal.
I pretty much just got carried this game. I think like I played the early game like I like lost my team that early game straight up.
Yeah. I mean, you did get carried, but here you're making some okay moves to put your team back in the game. You know what I mean?
I don't really think they need me though, right? Like at this point, like they're just starting to
This was
scale us.
good. They needed you top and here. Like breaking those towers is really good, and I'm glad that you are a jungler who sees the importance of tower taking and know when that spike hits that you're tanky enough with just enough damage to pull off kills like that, under tower, just 3v2 or 2v1. But other than that, yeah, you played the early game pretty damn bad if I'm being completely honest. But the thing is, like, there's no one that sat down and taught you a lot of this macro stuff before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think you'll retain this info pretty quick and easy. Just I'll have this uploaded, and then what you can do is watch it, take notes, What you should do is take notes on it, and then like every time You go into a game. Before, during, after the game, you take just one bullet point of the notes that you have on the stuff you want to improve on, and focus on that for the game. Play your
Yeah.
regular standard game like you always do, but focus on one specific thing that you want to get better at. Once you feel like you're better at that, then you move on to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and then once you have all those points mastered, then you end up
Just moving on to like the
refreshing.
next
No, no, no.
thing.
You don't even have to refresh. Like, or you don't even have to move on to more. Because the thing is, if you
Oh,
get good enough, you know what I mean, and focus on all the like just macro shit that you're messing up on right now, then you end up just improving your game and then recharging anything that you think you're gonna need refreshing on. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's
That,
like I'm pretty sure it was Bruce Lee that said it, but I fear not the man who's practiced many kicks a single time, but I fear the man who's practiced one kick 1,000 times. I think it's kick or punch, but yeah. So if you practice each of those things like a ton of times, keep that in mind for solo queue. Every single um, change you can make to your play in terms of macro.
right. I think the biggest like problem right now is my discipline, I guess, because
Yeah.
it like I have really poor discipline when it comes to playing games that don't require me to like just play super aggressive. Really, like I always when I play League, like in my mind, I deserve to win if I fought a lot and like you know what I'm
No,
saying,
that's
right?
a really bad mental to have. Yeah, that's really bad
Yeah,
mentality.
I think it's just like discipline, I guess.
Mhm. Should keep running. You shouldn't have stayed for that red, by the way, if it wasn't obvious. Blowing
Yeah,
flash for it is not worth in any way, shape, or form, and it's a huge coin flip because you don't know where Rise is.
Nunu is just.
Plus, they still have Chenault. Did this guy still not get even level 2 ultimate?
I
Holy
thought you don't
moly.
level it at all until you level
Until
16.
16? I mean, the thing is, in solo queue, I think it's still good to have that because, like, you can really catch people off guard even with the rank 2 one. You
Yeah,
know,
it's true.
because there's no look at your vision. Your vision is so shallow. He
Yeah.
could get behind Caitlyn right now if you wanted to. Just like, yeah, it's easy.
This was actually probably a good game to, if even if I got red smite for sight stud.
Yeah, vision is huge, dude. You're at about the elo range where people will be able to utilize your vision too, so it's not like for waste. You know what I mean? You don't
Right.
have to get extra tank stats, especially as Nunu, who gets so much extra HP percentage from his Q now, and strength of ages, everything. He's just supernaturally tanky. You know what I mean? So
Right.
the Sightstone buy doesn't really set you behind at all. In fact, it actually puts you ahead because you know where the jungler is. You can play a mid-centric game if you want to, and still keep top safe without having to force the stuff that you couldn't actually capitalize on early on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, take Scuttle.
I think I actually end up autopiloting later in this game. I was just feeling like kind of.
Is it 30 minutes flat, or did I think the replay GG didn't record the whole game, maybe?
It might have been 30 minutes flat. Like we actually start snowballing the game crazy right after this point.
Oh, okay. I don't know why he keeps going for you like that. As if you... I think he feels like his axes do way more damage than they really do to a Nunu.
If he killed me though, is it even like worth it to stay on me?
No. That's what I'm saying, like... Unless he's going to be able to get that kill with just one axe and run away pretty much, and rejoin his team, and actually set up battle lines, then he's
What
really
what
screwing
is
up walking into
what
you
is my
guys.
role at this point even? Like
Buff Caitlyn, get vision. That's it. Like, buff Caitlyn, objectives, vision. That's it. Make sense? And then obviously peel for both carries. Like, you can use your ultimate, etc. against anyone other than Olaf that would be trying to run at you guys. But the thing is, their comp is really poorly set up. And it has to run into you guys, which is a comp that would absolutely love for anyone to run into them. You know what I mean?
yeah, Nunu destroys that.
Yeah, Nunu, Cassiopeia, Caitlyn, even Bard, because he can ult the backline when the front
Yeah.
line jumps in, and then Swain as well. They really want you to walk into them. So your comp ended up actually doing really big things for you, as well as the fact that mid somehow stayed afloat, even though you did your absolute best to make him look like a shitter.
Yeah, I threw his lane so hard.
Yeah. 1 sec. Girlfriend asked me something quick. So we'll rewind. Oh, you shouldn't face check this. There's no point. The one thing that's gonna happen is you die, or like you don't even have flash to get in here and consume smite that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought it was like super tanky, but like, cause what we were doing is like I thought the whole team was actually agreeing on just like going towards dragon immediately, and I thought it was super tanky, but that was like just
Yeah,
so
you're
dumb.
not gonna be tanky enough to tank like 5 people straight up. So no matter what items you
We
have.
we gave up dragon, right?
Hmm. Yeah, you just give up dragon there. You give up dragon, you get vision around Nasher, and then they're fucked, dude. Because if they
Oh,
try to
we
cut,
do baron immediately. That's
yeah, you
right.
can literally do Nasher immediately instead of going for the dragon contest. And if you get vision around it, like, and they try to face check it at all, you just kill them. But they're all of them were at dragon anyway. So if you just run your way over to Nasher with the comp that you have, you can nuke the shit out of that.
Yeah.
And if they face check, like I said, they're just insta dead.
Oh, Cassiopeia and Nunu. I forgot.
Yeah, Cassiopeia and Caitlyn and Nunu. Just nuke the shit out of a Nash together. You even have a damage dealing top laner too, so it's easy peasy.
I should actually try to coordinate with that with my team then. Like,
Yeah, you're like one thing that a lot of players don't realize for this season is you don't skate by on mechanics, on your own individual knowledge. You have to pass that on to your teammates. You know what I mean? Like you have to shot call for your team all the time if you want to
yeah,
climb and improve.
I don't talk a lot in solo queue.
Yeah,
Or
well, the thing is, if you don't talk a lot in solo queue and practice that shot calling, then there's no reason that you can actually start shot calling in a team setting until you have. Because the thing is, right, a shot caller has screwed up a call 1,000 times before they consistently get it right. You know what I mean?
right.
Like that happens all the time, and you have to learn from it. Just through trial and error, pretty much. That's
Yeah,
why I
solo
told
queue is a
Evan in the
good.
beginning, when you start shot calling, what's going to happen is you're going to get a couple calls wrong. Don't get discouraged. Just learn from them and move on. So
Right.
if you practice that in solo queue, then it takes away from team time where shot calls could end up being wrong. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And solo queue is like the best place for that because it's not even competitive.
Yeah, and then if anyone tries to flame you for trying to shot call, just mute them and move on. Keep doing your best.
Yeah.
It'll happen somewhat rarely, but in Master especially, like people appreciate if you have good shot calls, like going for the Nasher there, then you'll get patted on the back by everyone.
I have no problem with being flamed if I
Mess
know
up.
I'm making shot calls. Like, I don't know.
As long as you learn from them, it doesnst matter. You know what I mean? Like you could be.
I haven't been making the conscious decision to like work hard at shot calling. I always viewed solo queue as like you don't have to talk to your teammates to be like a top player.
Yeah, well, that's part of discipline, right? Is practicing how you play,
Yeah.
like around game time. So yeah, you have to willfully make that decision. You know what I mean?
I can just use pings though, right? Like,
You can use pings, but you should also be typing for really specific things that you need your team to do. But for the most part, yeah, pings will work out if you spam them a couple times.
like
The enemy team
when I
played
look
that
at
team
like
fight really bad, by the way. You did fine. It's just they all literally did exactly what your team comp wanted it to do.
yeah, like I don't think they can actually play any other way though, right? If they try to kite back and just like
No, what they should have done was they don't they don't have a comp set up for solo queue unless you have someone who's really good at shot calling that's gonna be listened to by the whole 5 on their team. That's gonna work out because it
what's
takes
the
a lot of
win-
coordination, right? Because they got ahead early with
Yeah.
their comp, especially because of the mistakes you made. But the way that they get ahead with that comp once they get ahead early is by maintaining objective control and holding it, and then potentially forcing you guys to come into them. Because your team comp isn't really good at walking right into them, you know what I mean? But they didn't have
Okay. Yeah,
they didn't
yeah.
have someone that had the vision set up and the shot calling to actually make use of your weaknesses. So
Yeah.
they end up trying to engage into you in team fights, and you just shit on them.
I actually I don't know. I look at like Gillette and Evan and stuff. I don't know if well actually I see Evan playing in solo queue. He actually shot calls a lot. But I look at Gillette like he climbs like crazy, and I don't know if he actually like pings or talks or
It's
anything.
because Gillette plays a lot of games and he's consistently good mechanically, right? So if he's consistently good mechanically, then he's gonna beat people in lane, and the more games he has, the more lanes he wins, the more likely he is to win regardless. So he ends up climbing really hard. You know what I mean? He has
Right.
good macro knowledge. Don't get me wrong. He just doesn't use
Yeah,
it to shot call in solo queue and potentially in teams sometimes. But yeah,
I
it's
guess it's different for a jungler then.
yeah, it's different for a jungler, especially. Like, if you try to climb as jungle support, even ADC, by the way, like, ADC is really hard to climb with if you're not telling your team what to do at certain points of the game, up to, like, maybe 150 to 200 plus LP master, because they don't know what they're gonna, like, they don't know what they're doing, and if you don't shot call early, then as an ADC, you don't really have that much impact other than winning your lane. But yeah. And like I said, good shot calling will increase your win rate dramatically, and it'll help even more so for what we're trying to accomplish, right? Which is team calling.
Alright, so I guess like biggest point right now is shot calling discipline. Shot
Yep.
calling discipline. We should work on those.
But you have to also recognize those macro mistakes you made, discipline or no discipline. You know what I mean? Because you didn't know, like, oh, I should be hovering here for Cassiopeia because that's the way this lane is going to work, and
Right,
Olaf can get
right.
this cheese gank because he doesn't have any camps up right now. So, yeah. From 0-1 to an 8K gold lead, dude. This is NA solo queue is an anomaly.
Yeah, I feel like I actually just this game wasn't really anything I did.
The outer towers you got was good. That's I'll give you credit for that. Like I said before, and you play the team fights alright too. Like, but all you really needed to do is press a couple buttons to peel for your carries.
Right.
So yeah, focus on this really hard. I'm gonna upload this, and you can take all the notes you need.